Okay.
Hey there, everyone. It's Eternal Snowman, and I'm here for a week two recap and analysis of TLT. I'm gonna be joined by Luthier.
Hello.
Yeah, and we're gonna be breaking down six different matches, and we'll start with this first one, which is going to be Abyssal Ruins versus Sanjay, or um, Abyssal Ruins also goes by keeping it icy, so we can
Yeah.
just start it off. Um, So we'll go through the different matches, and then we'll go through and um,
Just
get
talk.
talk about the power rankings and stuff after.
Okay. Got it.
Um, so the first one. So okay, just by team preview.
Yeah.
I would say that like depending on the set of Abra, it's probably going to be a huge threat because keeping it icy really only has like all after their Spritzy and Volibee get knocked off, depending on what their item is, they can't really check Abra that well anymore. And
Yeah.
then
Especially if the Abra is Life Orb.
yeah, Life Orb
Um.
OHKOs everything after it gets knocked off, after things get knocked off. So
Yeah. I think even with Spritzy having its a Violet on, if the Abra is Life Orb and it has Rocks up, it's a guarantee to a KO. And if not, then it's like kind of close. But like regardless, it's just really it looks bad for matchup with Abyssal Ruins because it doesn't have good psychic resist.
yeah, okay, so we can just start. Um, so pretty standard double Manfu lead. Pretty much everyone does this. And then Sanjay reveals fake out knockoff. Um, And so just by this, you can kind of, it's probably safe for keeping it icy to just go Spritzy after the knockoff, after they trade knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjay predicts this and goes Fungus, or either he goes Fungus because it's also safe on Mianfu.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sanjay goes Mianfu. I actually don't really get this play, but I think he was trying to predict the Pharaoh Seed coming out.
Let's see. Maybe he wanted to preserve the Violet, but I don't get what going. Yeah, I agree. I don't get what going.
Well,
Yeah, it's probably was. It probably was predicting Pharaoh Seed. Yeah.
and then he goes Spritzy
Spritz.
predicting me, and actually I don't know what that Spritzy was. See, I don't really
Your
get it,
worst
but
series
you
of
know what?
plays.
It doesn't matter.
Alright.
You just U-turns out safely to Fungus. Um, you can kind of assume at this point that Fungus is an HP fire,
Yeah, or
because
else he would have gone for it.
yeah,
Versus, yeah.
and then he doubles into Mian, and it's just general chip damage on Spritzy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would have liked to see a Wish turn 10 from keeping it icy just because it was safe.
That was the one thing I wanted to talk about. Sanjay's game plan was literally whittle down the Spritzy, get its Violet knocked off, and eventually start spamming high jump kicks because after Spritzy, he doesn't have a high jump kick switching, especially since Mianfu is already knocked off.
Yeah. Um, and then Pharisee's pretty safe. And then I think he's predicting Mienfu on the Pharisee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he goes Volibee, and it's probably
Defensive.
Eviolite, defensive, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sanjay reveals weak armor Onyx. Um, pretty safe drain punch there. And
Yeah.
he reveals aggro, which means like after the knockoff, it actually threatens a good portion
Yep.
of Asorin's team, or
Yeah.
sorry, Sanjay's team. And then he goes to Onyx. Not much to say there. He trades rocks for Onyx's life.
Okay. Can I say one thing right here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, turn 18. I think Sanjay made a very poor play. Yeah, getting rocks up was good, but now he doesn't have a Volby switching.
Well, I mean, Volibee already revealed defensive, probably because it's U-turn, and the fake out
Yeah,
damage.
you're right, but still, like, where his is like Brave Bird switching. That's what I thought, but maybe getting rocks up was better in the long run.
Yeah. Well, okay. He goes. Okay. So I actually would have liked to see knockoff here because like he's keeps going Spritzy, and if he can get the knockoff on Spritzy, it means that
Abra wins.
Abra wins. Yeah. And then he does knock off, predicting the wish, which is safe from Sanjay, and then um, he goes Fungus, and I didn't really like that protect, but whatever. That doesn't. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
He goes Volibee. It means that he gets defog or trades for his life.
Yeah.
If he trades for his life, but Sanjay predicts. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if he.
Yeah, I don't like the Abra play.
I think Abra was safe because he was either going to roost or defog on that turn.
Fair. Dazzling Gleam should go.
Yeah.
He goes for sub.
He goes for sub on the defog, which means that he's now Abyssal Ruins is in a really bad position, depending on what hidden power he is.
And he's not hidden power fire, so that's huge.
I assume that he's actually probably. I don't know if he's hidden power fighting or if he's just like Shadow Ball or something.
I think he's hidden power fighting, and he didn't want to take chip damage from Bullet Seed, so maybe that's why he switched out. I don't know.
Okay, and then because Abyssal Ruins wanted to scout, he went Spritzy, since that was like he didn't want to lose the game off that. Then just Manfu shenanigans. I didn't really like that U-turn on the protect because it was pretty obvious.
There's no way he's protecting, especially since high jump kick gets recoil stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't really see how that was a good play. I would have liked to see something else, but that's fine. It's not terrible. He doesn't lose that much off that, so he just pivots. He makes a good double on the Spritzy, predicting the Pharaoh seed. And now Spritzy is in a really bad position because it can't safely wish up.
Right.
He gets the high jump kick.
Just gets another one.
And then he loses a speed tie here, which is actually like really bad considering that I actually probably would have liked to see Diglett because, well, I don't know if he's Z-move, but he's probably is Z-move. Because Z-move OHKO.
Without a Violet on.
Because I think high jump kick actually OHKOs Manfu, right?
Or
it's from 76.
From 76 with a Violet knocked off.
Yeah, I think that's so I would have liked to see the Diglett play, but he won the speed test, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
He gives up the Mianfu, which is fine because he didn't really need it anymore. The Ferocity reveals Toxic. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's weird. I mean, as far as I know, Toxic isn't that good in LC.
It's alright. Not that impressive, especially with like other random Magic Guard users, and then like burns are more significantly, and burns and Thunder Waves are significantly more important in LT.
Okay, well, Abra reveals HP fighting, but then dies to the Bullet Seed. And then I think this is Scarf Volibee, right? Because of the damage.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Especially, that's definitely Scarf.
And so he goes Scarf, Volibee. Okay, so then Volibee's pressured again. He goes Volibee on Volibee. I think he wins this just because of the poison. And so he trades, or so he eventually kills it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then he goes Omanite, which shell smashes, but it can't do anything to Staryu because Staryu's UV Light, and then it goes back with Thunderbolt.
I know some of them run HP Grass, but that wasn't.
HP Grass. Yeah, I probably would have OHKO'd if it was HP Grass, considering the Staryu was offensive. And then for some reason, the Diglett gets outspeed by Staryu.
He reveals 19. He reveals Adamant Diglett.
I think that's Adamant Diglett. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, because the three like largest speed tiers in LC are like 17, 19, and 20. So I don't know why he dropped one speed tier, and Adamant doesn't do that much more.
Yeah, I don't think it secures any other necessary cap. Maybe like after Rock's Fungus gets OHKO'd by Z move, but I could see that.
Either way, at that point, Scarfell will be swept.
Yeah, but I thought that Sanjay was in like a terrible position at the beginning. Like, so like, after he lost the speed tie with and lost his Abra, I thought like it was a really bad position for him because what turn was that?
Especially since like he had like Omni as a concept to
like here, around turn 40ish, he doesn't really have like a good answer. I thought he should have just gone straight Omanite and preserved the Volibee potentially as a sack because Omanite takes like nothing from Volibee anyway. Maybe he could have even gone for like a double shell smash or something, or just like gone for Earth Power the first time.
Right.
And then sacked something, and then try to get Omanite another chance to chance at sweeping.
But overall, like from both players, like just like as like you like to say, like solid fundamentals, everything fine. Just like he didn't play like I didn't see a Bizzle or keeping IC play as aggressive as he should have done with it.
Yeah, I didn't really. I like how Sanjay made a lot of doubles to gain advantages in the mid game.
Right.
Keeping it ice, he didn't really do that, or at least the doubles that he tried to make weren't like game impactful. So that's why Sanjay ended up winning the set or the game and eventually the set. But yeah, okay, so we can move on to the next replay. Let's do the OU match if it decides to load.
Oh, this kind of triggers me.
Okay, so just a preface to this match is that Byron just defeated Ark, who was in the previous round, who was like by most people's predictions like the best player in the tournament. I haven't really seen anything impressive from him yet, so I'll keep that judgment until later. I'm just trusting what other people are telling me. Over Dragoon, relatively unproved player. So he's like a huge underdog in this matchup because I ranked Byron as probably, I guess, the second best player coming into this round after Ham. And Over Dragoon had already won game 1. This is game 2.
Okay.
So from team preview, I would say that it's like Byron probably has an advantage just depending on the Volcarona set, of course, but like
I was about to say like he does not have a single Volcarona switch, and after it's gone.
Yeah, like all of Over Dragoon's sweepers are like answered pretty well because Gyarados is answered by Keldeo and Ferrothorn pretty well, and then Heatran is answered by Zygarde pretty easily, as well as Keldeo and DNC.
Superior has like.
And then Superior has checks in Volcarona and Ferrothorn, but it depends on the set because
HP Fire. Yeah, it could be HP Fire.
It could be HP Fire, but even HP Fire is not really like that safe because if it takes any chip, like I'm pretty sure +2 HP Fire doesn't like kill.
Really?
I don't know the exact calc, but I'm pretty sure Leaf Storm plus HP Fire doesn't actually kill Ferrothorn. And
if it's subseed, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, and then Landorus is probably offensive on this team or Scarf or something. But that's the one thing that could turn it. If it's like Double Dance or something, I could see it being really threatening. But we can just start on the replay.
Okay. Oh. I didn't turn music on.
Okay, so Byron leads Keldeo into Landorus. I'm assuming he's just predicting Landorus lead because it's pretty common.
Yeah.
And so he can get off a free Scald because there's no drawbacks to doing that play. And he Scalds the Mew, gets the burn, trades burn. It's much better for Byron. The burn on Keldeo doesn't really do anything.
Is that Spadef Mew?
I actually don't know the calc, but I think it's like some Spadef, not like a lot. Like probably like if I were just to say like 60 Spadef or something Mew.
No, yeah, it's Spadef because normal defensive Mew takes 32 min from Scarf Kill.
Okay. Then he goes DNC. He wants to get the Mega Evolution down, which is like pretty safe. Yeah. And then the Mew just roosts because you can't really do anything. And this is like where it reveals Spadef. I don't know what the DNC standard spread is, but Diamond Storm does like a solid amount, much more than a solid amount more than Moonblast. And then he reveals Sub, so it's probably Sub Endeavor, which is like the thing that's been popular recently. He goes Mew. Mew just defogs, and Overdragoon predicting that goes Superior, which is kind of funny because the
Start of the memes.
yeah,
The contrary.
evasion memes, and then he essentially just fishes for a miss, which he gets with Superior, and that's kind of like it's really unfortunate because in the case that Superior got hit by that Ice Beam, it means that
he loses. Like, he loses one of his hugest sweepers.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything that really does anything, or like he then has to either switch out Superior or lose it because it doesn't like take another hit from you. And then he reveals, or then he goes for Leaf Storm because after the miss, because depending on the Mew set, it probably gets 2-hit KO'd by Leaf Storm, by like Leaf Storm and then the +2 Leaf Storm.
Yeah.
But he goes Pharaoh on the Leaf Storm. I think he was probably predicting Leech Seed, but Leaf Storm also is like pretty safe.
Yeah.
And he goes HP Fire. It doesn't do that much. I don't know if that's actually because he's not spec'd into special attack, but I'm pretty sure he is. I just think Pharaoh Thorn just tanks it.
Yeah.
And then he goes Zygarde predicting HP Fire again, but he goes for the sub, which.
Okay, I think that's a terrible play. That's just me because like if the Ferrothorn stayed in and then Gyro Ball, then you basically lose right there because you never get up a sub again. You don't have like a second life.
I actually saw. Well, okay, like I think the sub is like a safer play just because in the case he goes something else like Zygarde or like Keldeo or something, then you get something safe. But at the same time, you also can fish for a miss if Ferrothorn stays in. So if Ferrothorn stays in, he has like a 60% chance, a 30% chance of missing or something like that. So
That's fair. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
that's like relatively safe. He goes for the Leech Seed, and then he goes for the Leaf Storm again.
I don't know why Byron's. Does a E-Speed kill? Does it do 36?
I'm assuming he's banded, and I think it does kill, but. So I actually don't know what that switch was, but he gives up his Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
It's important because he doesn't really have a great answer to Mega Gyarados now. With like Keldeo is like a good answer, but if it doesn't Mega, then it comes down to mind games. And then, yeah. So he gives up his Ferrothorn, and then he goes Keldeo, and Keldeo kills. So like I mean, just based off this calc, I'm pretty sure that Overdragoon's not running enough defensive stats to have taken the E-Speed from Zygarde anyway if it hit.
Yeah.
So he goes Gyarados because it's safe to set up on the Choice Select Keldeo, and it just crunches the Mew and it dies. So there's that. But he was Byron was just trying to force him to Mega Evolve there. I could have seen him try to go for the switch on Keldeo and just like I don't know. Actually, never mind. That was probably not that good of a play. And then he gets a crit on Earthquake, which is really lucky for him. And
yeah, because Earthquake at +1 does like 74 max.
Yeah, it's guaranteed to never kill. At that point. So he loses Keldeo, which is important because Keldeo, there's no water resist after that point, but like because of the burn, he's like kind of chipped. I could have seen Byron bringing it back with the Keldeo because he's also like because of that crit, he's also put in the position where Zygarde is now choice locked into E-Speed, and then he can go Lando for free. And Lando, I'm assuming this is Choice Scarf because he revealed Rocks on Mew. If it's not Choice Scarf, it's either that or Earth Plate.
Plate, yeah.
Yeah. and then Byron's just trying to like do whatever he can at that point, and then it's already over. So
Yeah, he can still win with Volcarona though.
um,
He
I
could
don't
have.
I don't think he could have won because Heatran or sorry
Because he could have
well,
HP ground on, right?
yeah, he has HP ground, and then so he does get the kill on Heatran with crit, but it doesn't matter because he can't break Clefable because it's unaware. I'm pretty sure it's unaware at least. Because he reveals Witch Protect, which is only like on unaware sets.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he didn't
That's
really.
rather unfortunate. I thought that Byron outplayed Over Dragoon in that game. Just other than like maybe like one misplay.
I don't really think there was like that much over outplaying because like the thing that like I think Over Dragoon played it well because the Psychic Mew on the DNC forced him out. He got the defog raise, and then like with a bit of RNG, he won the game.
Yeah.
I thought that the set preparation once again, like I haven't really been impressed with Over Dragoon's like play outside of OU, but I think his OU play has been really good. Last week he
The
brought
team that Over Dragoon brought, he's used it like times, like a lot in room tours.
Okay, well I wasn't doing prep for him, so maybe Byron should have been expecting it or something.
Fair.
But
Yeah,
he's been. I thought the play was pretty decent.
yeah.
Yeah, and also this is like probably one of the biggest. It was probably the biggest upset of round two. I need to look at the bracket exactly, but it's probably the biggest upset of round two.
Yeah, I did not expect that, but props to Over Dragoon.
Okay, so we can move on to the next game, which will be PD versus Trace Ubers. And I just wanted to highlight this game because I think this was a game where we actually saw some decent Ubers play, even after I would say like probably the majority of this tour has been really bad Ubers play from like pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
There's only been like a couple of players who I actually think have played Ubers well,
Yeah,
and then like
that was MM versus 9-. It's like the only other one I can.
And then I've seen a lot of really bad teams or just bad play. Like, just I've talked about this before. Stop bringing Genesect into Ubers. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So we can just start. From team preview. Sorry. Eviltal will probably be big because his only answer is DNC, and DNC doesn't like depending on the set, obviously, but DNC
doesn't take it well.
After a couple switch-ins, it can't switch in anymore. And then also depends on what Trace's beat on set is. It could also put in a lot of work because if it's like double dance, then it can. And okay, like Ubers, it's hard to tell just from team preview, just because RCS form can change a lot. Since Pidon, like depending on Trace's team, it could be defensive. Like it could also be defensive Ments, offensive SR, RCS, and then sweeping Groudon. But it could also be DD Ments, defensive Defog, RCS, and then Stealth Rocks Pidon as well. And then that would also work because he's guaranteed to have Defog on a team with Ho. And okay, so we can just start the replay. Oh, and also, I should note DNC is a huge. DNC is a huge threat to Trace's team because his only real switch in will be his RCS ground, which he reveals on turn 1. Because Eviltal loses to it. Pidon can't switch in safely because it fears Earth Power, and even Diamond Storm plus Earth Power will kill offensive variants. Ho and Mens obviously lose to it. And then same goes for Pex because Pex dies to Earth Power.
Does it get 2 KO'd?
Yeah, it gets 2 KO'd because they don't run that much Spadef in Ubers. Okay. Because they have to deal with Marshadow. They run like Wakenberry for Zern sometimes, and then run some Spadef.
Okay.
But they never run like a lot of Spadef because they need to deal with Marshadow, and that's why you run it. So they both lead RCS ground. And then they both go Ho-Oh. because Ho is the best answer to Arceus ground normally. And then they both go to their respective, or their quote-unquote answers, but I think Trace is going to predict the DNC from PD, and goes Groudon accordingly. And he overheats the Arceus, meaning he's probably SR overheat, just because it's Arceus ground. And he reveals Toxic, predicting the recovery, he just Toxics. It's pretty solid play. And then he goes Ho-Oh, and PD predicting the Ho goes DNC, so he gets a safe Mega Evolution, which is really important for DNC. And then he reveals Heal Bell, which is, I didn't really like, oh, what the hell, it's glitched. I didn't really like the Heal Bell play there, because I would have preferred he offensively pressured with DNC. I'm assuming he's probably dual stab, Earth Power, Heal Bell on that set, and I would have rather he went for the Earth Power on Pex, because it did mean that he was like chipped, and he doesn't really have a good answer to DNC, like I said earlier. So instead, he switches to Pidon because he doesn't want it to get chipped any further, and Trace goes Arceus Ground, which covers both the Pidon and the DNC staying in. And then he predicts Ho coming in and goes for Groudon, I think. And PD does something kind of risky here, because he stays in with Ho because he's assuming that Trace is actually no rock move, which I guess it's not that risky because he does reveal Toxic and Overheat before, but Trace predicting that PD would go to Arceus Ground goes for the Overheat, and then he goes DNC. I didn't really like the Ho-Oh play, but he just wanted to, in case he wanted to tank a Brave Bird from PD's Ho-Oh, and then he goes Pex, which PD scouts out with the Earth Power. And this is what I mean previously, where I was talking about DNC offensively pressuring Trace's team. His only answer is Arceus Ground, which PD has a solid answer to, and if he gets a Toxic on Arceus Ground, it's not even like safe to come in.
Right.
And Trace is like 0 defense elements, and he takes like 1,000,000 from the Ho-Oh Brave Bird. Toxapex answers Mens to an extent. And then PD predicts. Oh god, there's so much to go through this game. The replay's going too fast. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit.
Alright.
So he goes DNC. And okay, essentially they're just doubling a lot and predicting each other. And essentially Trace has to play defensively around DNC until he can find an opportunity to actually hit it back.
With Yveltal.
Yeah, and then he goes Yveltal, and Yveltal pressures offensively pretty hard because he doesn't. His answer to it is Pex, and he knocks off the Waken Berry. It's not that important in this game because he doesn't have an electric type move anyway.
Yeah.
And then he reveals 3 attacks. I didn't actually know the set at this point, but just based on 3 dark moves, I would have assumed it was Black Glasses, but later Trace told me it was actually AV, which is cool.
Yeah.
But it's offensive AV, and which actually pressures his team pretty hard. If it was Black Glasses, it would have been even better because he had no switch-ins to Black Glasses knockoff / Dark Pulse, like with that combination. But because he's AV, he can actually 1v1 the Arceus with Yveltal, barring no freeze. And so, like for like a bunch of turns in a row, it's just Yveltal versus Arceus until turn 40. And then PD goes into DNC. Once again, I didn't really like how PD uses his DNC because of how strong it is offensively, but it does force out the Yveltal. And predicting this, predicting the Arce. I actually think he was predicting Pex. He goes Groudon, but Trace ends up going RCS ground. So I would have liked to see like a Ho-Oh or something from PD to the RCS.
Yeah, that RCS ground play on Trace was kind of risky. Going to get 2 KO by.
No, it wasn't risky because RCS ground always outspeeds.
Oh, it's faster. It's fast. I'm stupid.
They always run more than enough to outspeed Mega Lucario, so it's always safe.
Okay.
And then there's the Ho-Oh. He gets the Toxic on Salamence. I think he was trying to go for Toxic on Arceus, but like the thing is that Mence, if it gets Toxic, actually threatens PD's team quite hard. So he's actually forced to sack Toxapex in response to that. And then he goes to his Marshadow and gets the kill because Trace is like 0 defense elements. And then he goes Yveltal. Another time Yveltal comes in and it's just like it easily eats up the close combat and just wins back to full.
I don't know why he made that play because like what did it start out with? It started out at like full, and then it just got all the way back to the 77.
Well, like the thing is, he PD doesn't really have an answer, so he was going. He was forced to do something about it, and like his other option was potentially to go into Ho-Oh and try to force out Yveltal that way, but at the same time, Ho-Oh is threatened pretty hard. Like, I think because I don't know if PD knows this, but he could have been fearing the Black Glasses Yveltal, and in the case where he goes Ho-Oh and then he eats like a foul play and then he's forced to sack something else, and Marshadow is like the least useful to his team at that point. So I think going for close combat is fine. It's not like an amazing play. Depending on if he was Rock Tomb or not, like Marshadow could have been more relevant, but like at that point, if he was like say Bulk Up last move or HP Ice last move, Marshadow doesn't really do that much for his team, other than potentially threaten RCS ground, but like not that much. So he goes DNC on the Yveltal. Anytime he can bring it in, he should. And he goes for Moonblast on Pex, and he's forced out because EP doesn't KO from that range. But Trace just goes RCS ground again, and at this point, like, he can still win because Ho-Oh threatens Trace's team pretty hard. So he's every time it comes in safely, he's forced to sack something. I would have liked to see the Toxic or a Toxic from PD, or at least go for Bravery, because Ho-Oh threatens his team so hard that he doesn't PD doesn't actually have a real answer. His answer is his own Ho-Oh, and he could have claimed the Groudon if he just went for like something there. But he's actually faster than Trace is because Trace's defensive rocks. I don't know what PD's set is, but I'm assuming he's probably fast rocks or something, or he creeped accordingly. And then the Yveltal comes in on Groudon. He gets the crit flinch, and at this point the game is pretty much over because with the crit flinch, he doesn't really have that much of an answer to Yveltal, and like if Groudon had gotten like Stealth Rocks or something off. Oh god, sorry. Fuck. Sorry. If he had gotten rocks or gotten damage on Yveltal, it would have been like much better for him. But because Groudon dies to Yveltal, he doesn't really have a good answer to Yveltal at this point. So, Trace pretty much, and then it's just DNC against. He goes DNC again, and at this point, it's like there's not that much that PD can do.
Yeah.
Because Pex doesn't even have like Pex doesn't die anymore, and he just clicks Scald a bunch of times and then wins because there's the only thing that could switch into Scald safely was Arceus ground, and then if here's Toxic too. So Uh, yeah, and then he doesn't even get the 2 at KO because of rolls on the Toxapex, and then pretty much just Evil's wins after that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's really unfortunate that Trace Trace got the Dark Pulse, but it was overall a really close match, and it ended up coming down to like some rolls and some like doubles and that kind of stuff. So it's a solid match overall.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one. Uh, let's do the NU match that you picked out.
Okay.
Okay, so just from team preview,
Yeah.
I would have. I have no idea what SMB's team does because like most of those mons are like never seen in NU.
Yeah.
I've literally never seen anyone use Yuxi or Ludicolo. I know what Kling Kling does, but I don't like. I've never
like
seen
he has
anyone use it.
Steelix. Like you don't use Kling Klang that often in NU. Like I don't think it's that amazing in NU, especially like because of Steelix, and like Steelix is so prevalent and it just like hard countered Kling Klang. Like yeah, it just hard counters it. Like it has no way of dealing with Steelix. So
Can you run Life Orb HP Fire on it?
HP Fire Kling Klang.
Life Orb HP Fire, or like Life Orb HP Ground or something.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, no, no. Oh, now I'm getting some ideas. Maybe I should run some Life Orb HP Ground or something.
Well,
That could be
well,
fun.
looking from team preview, I look at things like Specs Ice Cream, and I just feel like Specs Ice Cream just does a lot to this team, and so does Scarf, Scarf Embor.
Scarf Embor has pretty much no answers. At least like if it's Spadef Delphox with like the Wish Protect set, it can answer Vanillix
Yeah.
pretty well. But Embor's
Yeah.
answer is like Delphox, and that's not really an answer. So
Mhm.
no real set of Delphox actually is able to check Embor consistently.
Yeah.
Um, and then from SMB side, I don't really see a win condition. Like Ludicolo threatens his team, but he has type null, and type null kind of just walls it too. So
Delphox could win if it's Scarf or if it's like Subsalic. It could win at like +1 if you get like some chip on Steelix to break Sturdy and then get rid of Type Null.
yeah, but the problem is he doesn't really have an answer to actually getting rid of type null, except for like something dying, and then he has to like force type null into a 50-50 with Sneasel, and then something like that. Like I don't really see a good answer to type null. So anyway, we can just start the replay. And
Yeah.
so Ash just leads type null, and then he lets it get knocked off turn 1.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I mean, okay. So the one thing I could say is that most people don't run Yuxi, but like still like letting it get knocked off is really bad because okay, from SMB's side, type null pretty much I literally just said that I couldn't see any way where type null like dies or whatever, and then he like lets it get knocked off turn 1, but whatever. So he goes for the U-turn. He thinks it's like a no drawback play. I would say not really because okay, it ends up being that Yuxi is knockoff, but like I can understand because Ash probably has never seen not Yuxi just like period. But he goes Vanillix after, and pretty much something is gonna take a million from this. And I thought he could have just went for the Blizzard honestly and just taken the Zatu. But he just baits for the Stealth Rocks and he gets the Stealth Rocks for himself. But he also loses Zatu's item. It's not like that big, but it helps pressure Hitmonlee. And then he goes Embor, and then he claims a kill with Embor. And then SMB goes Hitmonlee. This means that Hitmonlee is guaranteed to be Scarf. and he
That
goes
means Stealth Fox probably isn't Scarf.
yeah, and he goes for the rapid spin and takes chip from Garbodor. And then because Osh lays down T spikes, pretty much everything on his team except for Kling Kling is pressured pretty hard by T spikes.
Yeah.
And then he goes for type null. It's pretty safe here. And then SMB goes for the CM, and type null just easily takes another Fire Blast, but it does get weakened heavily in return. But like it already did its main job, which is to answer Delphox. The other thing it could have potentially done is answer Ludicolo, depending on the Ludicolo set, but Osh decided just to play it safe. And then he goes, SMB goes for the knockoff, which is safe, and Osh goes to Embor, which is also safe, and he gets the superpower, which is guaranteed to get a kill at that point. And then he goes Zatu in answer to Ludicolo, just to sack it, and then he goes Vanillex. It's all pretty safe stuff, and Ludicolo dies. And he goes Hitmonlee. Not that much to say there. But, okay, so, and he goes Kling Klang hard on the Garbodor. And he gets some chip on Steelix, gets a sub, gear grinds, and he just loses. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Osh just played it solid. SMB didn't really have answers. Like, his technical answer was just like Click X. He didn't really have answers to Embor either. And his main like offensive tool was Hitmonlee, but it easily got chipped because of Garbodor. So, not that much to say. I don't know why you picked this game, but whatever.
I picked this game. I don't know either, actually.
Okay. Big Boy versus King. Okay, I actually like this game. So Leo birthday decided to bring.
A Yuxi.
This is okay. I know I said that Yuxi isn't seen that much in NU, and then there's another game, and then there's another Yuxi, but like, whatever. This is TR, NUTR, so of course you're gonna bring Yuxi because it's a TR setter. Big Boy's team is just Vikavolt balance. Pretty standard. I'm pretty sure that's specs. I'm actually not sure. It's either specs or agility, but I remember seeing this team. I think it's a specs.
I think it's specs.
Yeah, I think it's a specs Vikavolt team. I remember seeing it. So from team preview, well, okay, whenever you're playing against TR, you always just want to like, you have offensive pressure against their TR setters, and then you wait out the trick room, and then after you wait out the trick room, you kill them, essentially.
Yeah.
Because like, in general, it's very hard for like any Pokemon to in that tier to survive any of the TR abusers. Like Marowak easily kills like pretty much everything on Big Boy's team. If it's like Fire Punch, which I'm assuming it is, it's like probably Fire Punch, Earthquake, or Fire Punch like Earthquake / Bone Meringue, and then like Double Edge and and then like Stealth Rocks maybe, I don't know, depending on, I don't know what the last move would be. And then like Vikavolt doesn't really have answers either. Hariyama, if it's probably like Flame Orb. The answer is like Whimsicott, which is not an answer. Executor kind of gets answered depending on the set, like by like Skuntank maybe, and maybe by Whimsicott as well. And then Audino and Yuxi are just setters. So we can just start the replay. So Big Boy wants to lead Vikavolt because he, like the out of the setters, 2 of the 3 setters, since Executor is an offensive setter, and then Yuxi is the defense. Yuxi and Audino are defensive setters, but most people who play TR will always lead Yuxi because it also gets Stealth Rocks. Whereas Audino is just a setter. It doesn't really do anything else. So he goes Yuxi to start, and Big Boy wants to lead. And I really don't like this. Yeah, like I thought it was a terrible play to go Marowak because Marowak, it was like
biggest threat.
Yeah, it was the biggest threat. It didn't really have answers without like the only answer was like Vikavolt maybe, who takes one hit, but everything else pretty much just gets O-code.
Yeah.
And then he goes Audino, which he should have done like
In
at
first
first.
place, yeah.
Yeah. And then he reveals Magico Audino, uh, but he still doesn't prevent the rocks. The big
Yeah.
boy plays the 50-50s like perfectly. And then he goes Slowking. Not really an answer. He just sacks it to Hariyama.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Big Boy's game plan is like he needs to sack the Pokemon that are going to be least useful to him at any point in the game, just to wait out TR. So in that scenario, he wanted to sack Slowking because Slowking doesn't do anything. It doesn't offensively pressure the TR setters like Vikavolt does or Emboar does.
And it loses to all the offensive.
Yeah, and it loses to pretty much all the offensive Mons, so he just sacks it because it's pretty much useless in this matchup. And he goes Whimsicott to pressure Hariyama out. Um, I don't know if Leo thought he was going to live a Moonblast or if he was actually just predicting the double, but he goes for the Facade, which ends up working out. Doesn't really work out for him because Vikavolt just goes for the Thunderbolt and it gets a kill. Yeah, so it reveals specs there because I'm pretty sure Standard doesn't OHKO without, or maybe it's like Magnet. Like it could be Magnet, I'm saying, but like nobody runs that. But it also lets Leo get. Wait, why does he sack Audino? Wait, never mind. I thought he was gonna go Executor because it's a free, whatever.
Yeah.
So he goes Executor. He gets the Trick Room, but Big Boy makes a good play, and he goes straight to Whimsicott and encores the Trick Room, meaning that like pretty much no matter what happens, then he wins there. And then he goes Yuxi. Pretty much no real answers there. And then he goes Vikavolt, trying to prevent like the potential encore, but after the chip, Vikavolt can't really do that much. It's still answered to some extent by Emboar, and Emboar just gets a kill here. Yeah, and then he loses. I thought there were some misclicks. I think Big Boy played it like pretty much perfect because he did everything that he needed to. From the sack, from recognizing that Slowking was the sack and sacking it, leading the Vikavolt to prevent the Yuxi switch in. He got like the perfect 50-50 read with the Magico on Audino as well. So I thought he played it just like really well.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's basically why I chose it.
Okay. And the last game is MJ versus Chloe. I think you wanted to go through this game, so I mean,
yeah. Well, I specifically chose this game because of like how close each team was to each other, and how similar the game. Basically, you're gonna want to sweep with your Snivy in the end, so do as much chip as possible to Timber and completely get rid of the Alolan Muck, and basically Snivy wins from there. I thought MJ played the beginning of the game perfectly. So basically, simple Mienfoo, just like happened in most other games. U-turns on the Slowpoke, reveals Fake Out. And then he goes Snivy, gets T-waved, which is kind of unfortunate. And here's where like Chloe makes some of her misplays that lost her at the end of the game. Turn 3, I thought, or turn 4 was a pretty safe pursuit for Grimer because there's no way Snivy stays in. And I think Snivy gets 2-hit KO'd by pursuit when he's switching out, but he stays in and just goes for the knockoff. Gets Poison Mienfoo. Then goes Snubble on the U-turn, which could play by MJ. Then he goes into Grimer, my bad. Knocks off on the weak armor Onyx. Gets the Poison. Then goes to Timber, good play. And then he makes I'm assuming no drawback. And then goes for Drain Punch, which is a good play. Now I'm just say, yeah, and he goes Marini on the player up. So it's overall solid play from both parts. And then Osh makes a really good double on turn 10, where he goes to
Osh?
Grimer.
You mean MJ?
Sorry, yeah, MJ, because he had all the Osh names. God. And he makes a good double on the Slowpoke. He loses 50-50 and goes for knockoff, but that gets rid of the Onyx.
No, I mean, I think it was fine because like even if I think he would have rather just gone for the knockoff because it's 100% play. Because even if he goes for pursuit on the Slowpoke, I don't think it accomplishes that much because he has regen. But knockoff would kill the Onyx because like in the case where you pursue and it doesn't kill the Slowpoke and then he goes to Onyx, then you're left in a much worse position.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So knockoff is a better play.
He didn't have knockoff switch-ins. Yeah, even if he went Grimer on the knockoff, you're still losing. You're still getting rid of the Violate, which is really
much
helpful
better
for the sweep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was like a better play. So yeah.
Yeah, it gets rid of the Onyx, and then he gets knocked. His Marini gets knocked off.
I think MJ. Well, okay, MJ is recognizing his win conditions because Grimer can't get weak in this game, so he knows that, and then like every time that it could potentially get threatened, he's always switching out. So like at the point where he's in against Grimer against Mien, you should always switch out, and he goes to Marini. So
right. Safe. And then turn 13, MJ makes good or that turn 14, he makes a good play, recognizing that Chloe has to go for Scald against the Marini, because if he goes to Psychic, then he's allowing the Grimer to come in. So he goes to Snivy to put up a little extra offensive pressure, and then he gets a Leaf Storm off on the Grimer. Again, right here, I wish Chloe could have pursued it to get damage off, but she opts to not, and then just goes for Poison Jab. And then Mienfu does not take that well at all. Okay, here is the huge misplay on turn 17, that she let Grimer die. Because now you have no real switch-ins to Snivy. And then
he gives up the...
What was that, sorry?
No, never mind.
Yeah, okay. And then goes Mienfu, switches out, generate. Then he goes Mienfu on the U-turn.
And Chloe keeps going for the Scald to prevent
Grimer from coming in.
Yeah, Grimer from coming in.
Yeah, so MJ sets up a T-Spike, switches out on the Psychic, which is an ad play. And now Snivy's down to 34%. Still goes for Leaf Storm, connects with the Mienfu, does 60. Goes Marini again on the U-turn for Mienfu. So we're going through repeated plays.
He just sacks the Mienfu because Mien doesn't do anything at that point, which is fine.
Yeah, especially with Snubble around.
And he goes for the Gunk to try to catch, I think, Snubble or Mienfu, but he doesn't catch it for anything. And then he doesn't catch anything with the Pursuit either.
To me, I felt like knocking off would be there, because you didn't really lose anything by knocking off.
Yeah, especially because Mienfu was already weakened, so I'm pretty sure knockoff poison plus sneak would have killed.
Yeah.
But MJ does end up killing the Slowpoke with some 50-50 wins.
Yeah.
And then he goes Marini. Not that much to say. At this point, though, he is kind of weak to Snivy. Yeah. I mean, he misplays here, but like...
Yeah.
Then he goes Snubble. The Berry Juice activates. Not that much to say.
Yeah.
Goes for the play rough. I'm assuming he's predicting the... I don't know. I thought it, like, Chloe should have went for Thief there, but...
Yeah. Or maybe she doesn't have it. Some of them never had it.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's Fire Punch or something.
Yeah.
Something.
But then he goes back to Snubble? Okay,
I don't know. Well, okay, MJ's just trying to sack the Marini. Like, he doesn't want it anymore, so.
Yeah.
Then he sacks Snivy
It's
against the
Snivy.
Snivy.
Yeah.
he just trolls really hard right here. And he just, for some reason, just decides to go weak armor Onyx.
Doesn't Grimer live a +2 Snivy?
He was very
sure
juiced. Yeah, he was just
He's
really
very
trolling.
juiced.
After the game, he realized he was just like trolling really hard. And then he gets bailed out because he gets a crit Mach Punch. It's like the trollest endgame ever. Whatever.
Yeah. Because okay, so it's troll because
it crit like
if,
6 times in a row. What the hell?
Yeah, because if Grimer didn't get paralyzed and he went for a Shadow Sneak, then a Shadow Sneak plus poison damage plus Mach Punch would have killed the Snivy. So that kind of sucked. But then MJ just gets all back with a bunch of crits. So I just thought it was kind of funny how this game played out.
Yeah, well, I mean, MJ should have won the game anyway, but he just like, for some reason, he decided to go Onyx, and then for some reason, but like he doesn't get punished for it because he gets the crit or whatever. But.
Yeah, but Chloe played it like it was a Scarf Snivy, so that's maybe what.
Okay. So let me pull up my TLT recap and then my TLT power ranking so we can go through it.
Alright.
Do I need to send it to you?
Yeah, can you?
Okay. Let me just post it in Discord real quick.
Got it. Alright.
Okay, so.
I'm gonna copy that.
Okay. We can just start from the top and then go all the way down.
Okay.
Alright,
well,
let me go to the bracket.
First thing I want to say.
What's up?
Rip Ham.
Okay, so after this week, I would say no one in S rank, honestly. Nobody has played good enough to be in S rank, in my opinion. I'll put Ham in A+. He still played decent.
Yeah.
Not amazing, but he played decent.
Wait, didn't Ham drop? Or is he still in losers? He's in losers, yeah.
No, he's in losers. Ham, he played the Ubers game really badly, honestly, and so.
I think he was trying to meme by bringing webs, but like, it was a terrible matchup, too.
He didn't play it well either, which is like whatever.
Yeah.
Byron also lost to Over Dragoon. It was like really convincing. I'm gonna move Byron down to A, unless you have anything else to say about it.
No, I agree with that.
Ark hasn't played his match, so I'll just leave him in A+. He
plays like Poison Adhesive, right? Or something?
Yeah, but they got an extension, so they haven't played yet. Parivard, A+ still. He won his match against Plaz.
It wasn't like convincing.
It wasn't great. It wasn't convincing. I mean, I expected it to be close, but I didn't think Pari played amazing. I'm gonna leave him in A+ just because he did win, and I don't really have any reason to move him down because what he did worked. So like, I'm still a believer in like, if it works, then there's no like, I can't say anything about it unless it like doesn't work.
Yeah, don't fix what's broken. So yeah, he's fine.
Trace and Mysterious M both lost, so I'm gonna unbold them.
Okay. Wait, Mysterious M lost to who? Oh, JR Smash.
Yeah, JR Smash. Oh god.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, since I mean, we are recording this like midway through week 3, so
Yeah.
It's not really accurate like week 2 recap, but like whatever, doesn't matter. I did this like same thing last week, so whatever.
Right.
Me and Jordan both won our matches. I don't think we should be moved up. It wasn't like
Who'd you
extremely
play
tough match.
again?
I played Akiko Yosuno.
Oh, right.
It was the 2-0. But and then we both don't play a match this week because we're both stone winners. Omnish Draco also lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's out.
He's out?
I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
Wait, who did he lose to?
Omnish Draco lost to Lesser. Oh, no, never mind. He's not out. He won against Lesser.
Okay.
No. Sorry, my bad. I remember he was actually. No. I actually remember that match. He was losing by so much, and he should have never won that game.
But what happened?
Was it that one? No. Wait, I'm getting some games confused. I think Omnis Draco. No, I think it was a game where like I thought he was gonna lose, and then he won. He ended up winning in the end, but I don't remember exactly what happened. But he did end up pulling it out, I guess.
Okay. So
SMB.
he plays PCD this week or something, right?
What? He plays PCD.
PCD.
Yeah, he plays PCD.
Okay.
No, the person who I thought should have never won, but he ended up winning their match was London. I think it was London's Uber's game.
Oh, against you? Oh, right.
That was just terrible. Okay, never mind. But
yeah, you're right.
Okay, SMB won their game. Not much to say. Pradhan, they lost against FMG, but I thought it was fine. Like they didn't play terrible, so I'm not gonna move them up or down. They play who this week? Prod plays Ninja Dog. That'll probably be a tough matchup.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably gonna ban LC.
And then Osh, Osh plays who this week? Oh wait, Osh lost. Never mind. Oops.
Alright. Yeah.
I'm gonna move up MJ to A rank.
Who did he play again? Oh, he played Chloe.
Yeah. He played.
He got little hacks, but like he played like a dumbass with the Onyx. But other than that, he played pretty well.
And he also hasn't dropped a game yet, so I'm gonna move him up just for that. Miyoka won their match for round 2. I don't know who they're playing. Miyoka's playing.
They play Chloe.
Oh, and yeah, they already won.
Yeah.
So not much to say there. Caro played really badly. Last week.
I never thought Caro was that amazing of a player.
Caro smashed Rosie in round 1. It was not close, and they played who? I remember that the game was really bad. The Franklin, which is Arse 9, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yes.
maybe.
So I'm moving Kara down to B+. FMG won against Prod. FMG is going to move up to A- because they beat someone who's in A-, and it was pretty good. Pretty good matches as well. Sanjay played Keeping It Icy, that's right.
Yeah, Keeping It Icy.
I'll say Sanjay still is B+ because the games were a lot closer than I expected. I don't know if that was Keeping It Icy overperforming or Sanjay. I think Sanjay is like B+ right now, so it's fine. Neomon played.
Did he lose? He played Jordan. I know he lost to Jordan. Or Jordan.
No, that was round 1. And losers, round 1, he played. Oh, he played Ninja Dog. That's right. He lost.
He lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Ninja Dog. Plaz lost to Parivard. I think I'll keep him in B+ as well.
He played well.
He played well. He actually got robbed, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. That sucks.
Blink Boy played. Oh, Blink Boy played
MS3D.
No,
he's playing MS3D. He played. We had the King Leo or Leo birthday. Whatever.
No. He did not play Leo birthday. Blink Boy played Snow Jinri. And lost. It was a close set.
Okay.
I'll say I'll keep Blink Boy in B+. He did win his match against MS3D already. Akiko Yosuno, I don't know how good you want to rate how much you rate how. No, I can't talk.
How could I rate them?
Yeah.
I think you should be able to them to A-. They beat Rosie, right? Yeah. Akiko is pretty solid at OU. Like, not banning OU against Rosie takes kind of some guts, and then they won 2-0. So I would move them up to A-. That's what I think, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Trade. Who did Trade play in round 1 losers? Trade played. Oh, Micro. That's right.
They won.
Yeah, Trade beat Micro. I'll keep Trade in B plus. Snow Jinri. I can't spell.
I'd move them up to A-.
A-
I
as
think
well. Yeah.
Yeah, because Snow Jinri is actually really good, and so.
Neon Dash played U and lost in round 1. B-Dov.
B-Dov's in B plus.
I'm keeping B-Dov in B plus. Yeah, Ham said. Well, okay, me and Ham agreed last week that B-Dov definitely deserves to move up, and like especially considering like the side of the bracket that B-Dov's on, there's like a good chance that B-Dov makes it far. So. Round 4, I say that B-Dov over his Peachy Clouds. I don't know how close this matchup will be because they're both like kind of unknowns for me.
For Peachy Clouds, I know Peachy Clouds is not bad at Uber. I don't. B-Dov probably might win.
I think B-Dov probably wins.
She could win.
Yeah. Mikav lost to Peachy Clouds, and in losers this round plays. He plays the winner of Poison Adhesive versus Arc, which is probably going to be Arc.
Gonna be Arc,
yeah. Yeah. Mikav, I would still rate in B probably. I rated them higher than. Ham said that he was much better than Peachy Clouds, but.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think Peachy Clouds is like player, but nothing better than average player.
Where did I rate Peachy Clouds? Is Peachy Clouds not on this list? Peachy Clouds isn't on this list.
Yeah, he's not.
All right, whatever. I'll put them in B plus. Whatever.
I agree. Yeah.
Peachy Cloud. Okay. B rank. Big boy deserves to move up. He played amazing, especially
the LC game was literally perfect. Or not LC, but the NU game. Yeah.
Keeping it icy. B rank. That's fine. Micro is out of the tournament. PD out of the tournament. Over Dragoon moving up. A- or B plus?
B plus. I mean, for me, I don't think relying on Orange is like that amazing of a play, but like the way he defogged or the way he went into Superior on the predicting it, I thought it was pretty smart. He knows how to prep somewhat well, so I think B plus.
I'm going A- because I thought his play and because we didn't go through his NU game, but he also, I think it was NU at least. It was either NU or RU, but he smashed the other game pretty hard as well. So
really?
I'm gonna go A-. Yeah, I thought it was not really that close of a set. So, and since I rated Byron much higher, I'm gonna go over Dragoon and A-.
Fair.
Okay. Where was I? The cheese in one upset Ham. B plus or A-.
That's a tough one. Well, he went to 3 with Ham, and Ham played Uber's like an idiot, but I think he's A-.
Okay. Fair. And all right. London, B plus or A-.
B plus.
Okay. London played pretty well against Yumu. Yes. Yumu threw the game away like an idiot, but whatever. But this week is his first real challenge. Or no, that's not true actually. He played Lightning game 1. Week 1. But FMG is going to be a lot tougher than Yomu Poke. Okay. Where was I?
Mohican. Or you're at
Exploding Daisies. I'm pretty sure they're out of the tournament, right?
They're out. Yeah.
Mohican is out as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, he lost to. Who did he lose to? Oh, Plaz, yeah. Plaz beat Mohican. JR Smash.
A B plus. He beat MM. Or maybe,
I'm,
I think
I'm,
B
I'm,
plus because
okay, sure. Fine. B plus, but asterisk loss of respect because he timer stalled Blitz out of a game.
he timer stalled? Oh, right, he did. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leo birthday beat Trace.
I can't tell. I can't tell if that was like good play or like just Trace had bad matchup in RNG. Because he got so many meteor mash boosts on the U game and like had bad matchup and like Trace had bad matchup and
I'll
I'm not
keep
sure
Leo
if he
birthday
played.
and B rank because he did lose the round 2 match in winners.
Yeah.
King of Crimea is out, right?
He's out. Yeah, he lost to Yumu.
Yep. And then Ars9 is in winners round, or like he's in round 4 winners. I would say probably B rank.
Yeah.
He continually defied my personal expectations because I expected him to lose to Villa, and I also expected him to lose to Kero, but I would say that they both underperformed rather than him overperforming.
Right.
Yomu, B minus is fine. B minus is fine. Lightning has not played their round 1 losers game. He has not. Yeah, he's against TI-84. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll keep him in B minus because he hasn't shown anything otherwise. Ninja Dog B plus, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Chloe's out. Alina.
Is it Alina?
Alina. Whatever. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
NJ's probably gonna get tilted because he was telling me the other day. But anyway,
Yeah.
Alina. B.
Are they
I
out?
think. No. They're round.
Yeah, she beat MM. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. I'll say B at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lissa Brewer is out. Yourself, I would rate in B. I'll go with B for now. Okay. Until you prove me otherwise, I'll go with B.
All good. Who's next? Skelos. Who does they? Or do they already play? Oh, they play Ham.
Oh, Skelos is playing Ham this week. That's right. Skelos, yeah. I'll keep him B minus right now.
Yeah.
C plus rank. You would no. Hellrayquaza.
What do they play?
Hellrayquaza. Oh, Hellrayquaza beat Tempering. That's right. C plus is fine though. PCD. They play who this week?
Oh, we already talked about it. Honest Draco.
Sure, I'll keep them in C plus for now. Rosie's out.
Out.
Revival Circus is out, right?
Let me check.
Yeah, they played King of Crimea. Revival Circus is out. Tempering is out. ABBP, I actually don't know if they are.
Wait, who is that?
I have no idea. I should know, but I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to losers. Oh, they played Skilos and lost round 1 losers.
Oh, okay.
Tote, I believe, is out as well. No, sorry. Tote plays Byron. He beat LKPKD last round. Then TI-84, and then Brawlian is out. Okay. So, as expected, I should hope at least that everyone in the, there's way more people who are, whited out in the lower bracket than in the upper parts. But, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about rankings.
No, not really. I agree with basically everything you have here. It's just kind of sad to see the people that we expected to do so well dropping so fast.
It's funny because 2 out of the top of my predicted top 7 have already been dropped out of the are out of the tournament, and pretty much everyone else is in losers except for Parivard, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I don't know if SMD. No, SMD wasn't rated. It was Omnis, Draco, Prodhan, Ham, Arc,
Arc.
Trace, and Mysterious M, and Mioka. Yeah, so everyone is in losers are out except for Paribard.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Losers is significantly hard. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the bracket right now, like I feel like winners is kind of underwhelming still, but
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's it. So,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us for week 2 recap and analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.